This conversation starts calm and then everything shifts. Let's break it down on Choir Media.
Hello?
Hello. Yes.
You've called in before. Okay. What do you got for me? Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm not sure if my standards would be too high just based off of maybe where I am now and considering how old I am and then what my features are, etc.
Okay, I don't remember you. I just remember your name. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Where do you live?
I live in Chicago.
Okay. Are you looking to get married?
Yes.
All right. So what do you mean you don't think your standards are too high?
Um so I do want to marry successfully and I do want to marry well. So as far as I the question that you would normally ask, do I want to work after I get married or have children? I want to be specific. I want to work from home. Period. That's kind of like what it is. I don't want to, be on my feet every day. I just don't want to, and I genuinely want to stay at home
How
and
many
care for my
children do you
children.
want?
I want no more than 3 kids.
Okay.
It's
And
only myself and my little sister.
what do you do? What do you do for a living now?
Right now, I'm working for a biomed lab, just as a machine operator.
So you didn't have to go to college for that.
No, I didn't.
All right. So you're an hourly worker, right?
hmm
What would you do from home?
Well, I do want to, of course, operate in online sales, but I do have experience in marketing and graphic designing.
23 years
So
old.
I'm
If you
open.
okay, you're 23 years old, and if you had experience in that, why aren't you doing that for right now? See, let me explain to you the fantasy a lot of you ladies have. That once I get married, all of a sudden I will have time to become an expert in something that's going to make money. You have a husband and 3 children. Where's that time going to come from?
Experience getting myself out there.
Where's that time going to come
And
from? You have a husband and 3
mhm,
children. You have to get the kids up in the morning,
right.
square them away, get them out the door to go to school at best or homeschool. You have a husband that needs to be squared away as well. And then when those kids are gone, you have to get the house clean, straight, and ready for those kids to come back in the afternoon. Their stuff is going on. They got homework,
hmm
activities, and all this other kind
hmm
of stuff before your husband comes back in the house and there needs to be dinner. Where's the time
hmm
going to come to for you to become this online business person selling something? And I particularly have an issue with people who think you can just become a salesperson because I'm a professional salesperson. I'm going to tell you, it's more than a notion. It's a fantasy.
hmm I get it. Well, for one, I do have experience dealing with children just based off of my upbringing. So I do know exactly how the time is. Like I've naturally gotten up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning since I was a little girl. So
Okay.
I do know what it's
Okay.
like.
So if you understand what it's like, how are you going to
hmm
run a business from home with a full family?
Oh, well, based off of what I'm going to do is once everyone is squared away, of course, I'll be able to make an agenda at the beginning of the day and fill in those spaces. And as time goes on and as business grows, I would have to eventually hire a team
This is
to.
no, 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 no. Let me just go ahead and stop you and say no. You don't have any experience
Okay.
doing this. You have no expertise
Right.
doing this. Here's the thing. If you were going to run a business from home, you should be already doing business now.
Okay.
And what you're ultimately saying is this. Let me also put this into the equation. Where's the money going to come from to run this business?
I don't have an answer for that. I didn't
Oh, I
think it
do.
all
It's going to
through.
come from his pockets. It's going to come from your husband's pockets. So here's how this goes. Hey, honey, I want to stay at home and run a business that I'm wholly unqualified to do. And I want to take tens of thousands of dollars just to do something that I don't know how to do. I have no customers. I have no expertise in this. People in the marketplace have no real reason to come buy whatever from me versus the people who are already doing it, who have expertise at doing it. But I want to go ahead and throw money, good money after bad money, instead of putting that towards college fund and paying off the house. You see what I mean? You ladies talk like I'm going to work from home as if you already. If you're going to work from home, you need to already be doing something where you can work from home. Are you an accountant? No. You don't
No,
have
I
a
went to
college
school for
degree,
biochemistry.
but you can't do biochemistry from home, sis.
Right.
What you're showing is exactly what I'm talking about. You ladies are unrealistic. You think you can just pull a business out of the air. In order to run a business, you have to be a subject matter expert in something. And then you have to run the business. Then you have to invest money into it. But then you have to go get customers that will give you money for that thing. You won't have time to do that because you have a family and children. There's no free money. You're going to work. Now, would you still want to get married if you have to work?
Yes.
Yo, you don't sound too excited about that shit.
No.
You don't sound real excited. You're like, I'll work. But
No, when I think of work and marriage, I think of how my upbringing was, and it wasn't really a good sight. It always caused issues and problems. So,
hey, Aaron, I
you
don't care
know,
if you disagree with me, man. Nobody's asking you. Go ahead.
yeah,
You
like
say
my mom, she was the alpha. So I just want to make sure, like me, I just saw how she stressed. I did. And,
she's stressed doing what? Working?
her, yes, being the one bringing the bread and butter.
Was she married?
Yes, she's been married to my dad for 18 years. They divorced some years ago.
Were they married when you were in about when you were you out of house? What age are you when they?
A year before. They left my second year of senior year of
So
high school.
does your mom make more than your father?
Yes.
All right. Um, were you guys living at his means or above your means?
Um, well,
Because
let me answer it this way.
if no, let me put it because I'll put it to you this way: there's no need to stress if you're living at your means.
Well, my mama made it work. So she made it work. Like you couldn't tell that. Like we never went without ever.
But you said
But
stress.
but the marriage, I don't know why she stayed, but they just always argued, always.
Well, all
So
right. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. Let me go on down the path because I don't know them. But oftentimes, when women are making more money than men, they're living outside of their means, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with some sort of life that her husband cannot afford. So, but we're talking about you. You don't have a college degree,
right.
so you're an unskilled worker at this point, and that's
Okay.
and saying you're going to just start a business from home is unrealistic. So better to I mean, if you really want to stay home, then if if you really want to stay at home, that means you're going to have to become exceptionally competitive for the little group of men that can actually afford to pay that, or recognize the fact that you'll marry a regular guy, an average guy, an above average guy, and you both will be working. But to me, that
Okay.
sounds like stress to you.
Um, I just want to make sure that I'm choosing the right guy for myself and
What
for
does
my
that mean?
children. Because it's just my personal opinion of my parents' relationship. She should have been left.
Okay, well, okay,
because
let's do this.
yeah.
I don't care about their relationship. You're 23. That's none of your business. You want to make sure you choose the right guy. See, I have a problem with this. I'll tell you what it is. You act like you got options. Like all the cards are on your side. You're 23 and unskilled. And you're talking like you're in a power position.
Hmm. Okay.
Where do you live right now?
I live on my own. I have my own apartment
Okay.
in the suburbs.
Okay. Far too many women today are worried about finding the right guy, as if men are. What would be far more realistic is realizing that you're not going to be able to get through this life and live a middle class life by yourself. You'll be working paycheck to paycheck like most people in this country. And the way you get out of paycheck to paycheck is actually marrying a guy on your level, equally yoked, and you make your 40 and he's making his 60 and together it's 100.
Okay. Hmm.
But that's not what I'm
All right.
hearing. And what I'm hearing too often from women is some, I'm going to not have to work, or I'm going to work from home and somehow I'm going to make 50, 60, $70,000 with no skills or whatever. And it's just not very realistic. And instead of worrying about if the man is the right one, are you the right one? Are you what a man would want to pick and marry? You get,
Okay.
hmm?
Okay.
Well, because have you noticed that it's all about what you want? You haven't said what he's going to get for you, what you bring to the table, what value you're going to bring to him. It's all about what you want.
Um. Oh well, I did say that, but I really don't try to be that way. With this recent guy that I've been dating, I've learned to listen. I've learned to be slow to anger, and it actually has helped the relationship. Um, I'm someone that's coachable.
Okay.
I mean, I do have certifications at the end of the day,
You have what?
but that's
You have
besides
what?
the point.
You have what at the end of the
I have
day?
certifications. I have
Spec-
certifications,
what does that mean?
uh, like for instance, as in aesthetics.
Say that again. You have what?
I have certifications.
Certifications?
Yes. One of
Certification?
the being, yes,
Certifications?
yes, certifications.
Certifications.
Hmm.
Have you been to therapy?
No.
I would suggest it. You seem to be holding on a lot of negative energy from your mother and father's marriage that has none of your business. There's no reason at 23 years old that you should not be coachable, especially as a young lady who has certifications and no college degree. You need to be very coachable because at 23, if you didn't get married, okay, for the rest of your life, what's the top end that you would think you would earn annually?
Um, the least,
The most.
or the most, I would say about 100,000, because I do anticipate going back to school,
Going back to school and what, man?
mass and bachelor's
I'm
in
a PhD,
biochemistry.
a bachelor's in biochemistry. And where would you go work
No,
as
I don't.
okay, where would you go to work?
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
it'll be in the
Hold on.
lab,
In a lab. Where would you go work and get a six-figure salary?
in a biomed lab.
No, you wouldn't. Remember, you're talking to a chemical engineer. No, you wouldn't. You, biochemists don't make six.
I was going off the job descriptions that reached
Okay,
out.
okay. But biochemistry, okay. Um, if you're talking, when I talk about $100,000 a year, we're talking about, in Houston, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio dollars. So maybe they vary in Chicago. Maybe the cost of living is a little bit higher. But biochemists don't make $100,000 a year, man. Working in a lab, they don't have $100,000. That 3% of women in this country earn $100,000 or more, and they are in medicine, law, finance, real estate. Those are the professions that women work in that pay them six figures. See, what I've just showed you, young lady, is you don't know a lot about the actual world. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is this is part of the problem when you ladies are just living in this, what I consider to be fantasy world. You've gone from, I'm going to work and own a business and a home that I'm not qualified to do. But I can make money because I have certifications, and then I'm gonna go back to school to become a biochemist, and I can make six figures in my career when only 3% of the women in this country earn that or more.
My goal is to
It's a good goal, man. But
achieve
23,
the
at 20, okay, let me
degree
stop.
before.
Let me stop you right. 23, man, you only have a bachelor's yet. And the likelihood of gaining degrees later on in your life drops significantly. Therapy will be a good starting point, and then really starting to understand what the world is for adults, because you may be doing okay right now, but understanding that your best bet in order to have a higher standard of life is going to be with somebody.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thanks.
Oh my God. Men aren't allowed to go around and just talk and say stuff. I'm going to just have certifications and I'll make 100,000. I'll just own a business. The world tells me, no, 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 no. You're going to be a sandwich artist at the Subway, or you're going to be a bus driver, or you're going to work for the city or whatever. You don't just get to go get free money and start businesses. See what I showed is a lot of you ladies think you're going to work from home, and you're not qualified to work from home. Because there's the skill you have, and then there's the business of making that marketable. And those are two separate things. You could be an accountant, but there's still the business of running an agent. There's still the business of accounting. You got to go get customers to give you money. And it's not as simple as throwing up a website and saying, I do this. Why should someone go to you when they can already go to the existing people in the marketplace who already have the time, experience? You're not disrupting the market. And a lot of you ladies seem to not understand a lot about business. And it's certifications. Certifications. You don't get out of here with that.
You've got a 23-year-old caller with a clear vision. She wants marriage, up to 3 kids, and to work from home. On the surface, that sounds structured. But when Kevin starts digging, the gaps show quickly. The biggest issue isn't the goal, it's the lack of a plan. She's currently working an hourly job with no college degree, but she's talking about running an online business after marriage and kids. That's where Kevin pushes back hard. Because the timeline doesn't make sense. Building a business requires time, skill, money, and focus, and she's planning to start that after taking on full family responsibilities. Then it gets deeper. When he asks how she'll fund the business, she doesn't have an answer, and that's the turning point, because what it really implies is dependence on a future husband to finance a vision she hasn't started building herself. Kevin's core message here is simple. If something matters to you, you should already be working on it now. Not later, not after marriage, not when life gets busier. There's also a mindset issue. She's focused heavily on finding the right man, but Kevin flips that and asks, are you the right woman? Because at 23, with limited skills and income potential, she's not in the strong negotiating position she thinks she is. He even challenges her expectations about making 6 figures in biochemistry, pointing out that her understanding of the job market isn't realistic.